Well, it appears that time is running out on your chance to take advantage of a federal stimulus program meant to get people to start buying houses. It's been going on for a while. The government has been offering an $8,000 tax credit to first-time home buyers. But that program is about to end, and all home sales must be final by December 1st in order to qualify. But realtors and home builders and legislators are all pushing for an extension. And there's some pretty solid evidence that the program has really been working. Home sales, for example, jumped 7% from June to July of this year alone. Pending sales are up 5% from July of last year. News Channel 3's David Bailey shows us how well that program has worked for buyers and sellers here in West Michigan. David.
Good evening. This credit could mean the difference between renting an apartment or buying a house, getting some equity. But the deadline is coming here in just a couple of months, and there are big questions whether the government could possibly extend it. Longtime realtor Dale Stuckey says prices are just barely inching up after a tumultuous year in real estate. More buyers, though, in the market, he says, especially first-time home buyers, to take advantage of that tax credit.
I would say in my business, over 50% is contributed to that.
Stuckey expects the rush to start now, less than 10 weeks before the deadline to close on a deal to qualify for that tax credit. He says you should pre-qualify for your financing now and identify the house by the middle of next month. Perhaps the greatest time, he says, to buy right now.
I believe it's hit bottom.
There's been talk of the government potentially moving that deadline of December 1st ahead. We asked Terry Lemon of the IRS his thoughts about an extension on News Channel 3's Morning Show.
And right now it says you got to close by November 30th. Now there has been discussion about extending it. We're closely monitoring it at the IRS, and if they decide to extend it, change it, or whatever, we're prepared to move quickly on it. But the thing is, if you're considering buying a house, that's kind of a risky gamble. So, don't take any chances.
As for the entire housing market, Stuckey says there are more buyers, more sales, fewer foreclosures, and short sales these days. Some bidding wars actually going on, but he says it's going to be a while before you can get the equity back in your house.
But now things are starting to sell and sell for more money, and that's creeping the values back up slowly.
And by the way, the $8,000 credit doesn't have to be repaid back to the government if, in fact, the owner stays in that house for 3 years' time. Here in Wyoming, David Bailey, News Channel 3.